Definitely 3-bed semi-detached, ideally with a garage and a garden. You've got your young families that are moving in for a longer period of time. They want to be there for 3, 4, 5 years. But then you've also got slightly higher, definitely in Chorley you've got your 4 and 5 bedrooms, which are £1,000 plus. So you've got people who are perhaps cohabiting, they're moving mum and dad in with them and whatever else, so they want to be in a larger property, and again they want a bit of a status. Flats are always in demand, especially around the Buckshire Village area. They do fly out like hotcakes. Definitely young families. There's loads of young families out at the minute looking for rental properties, purely because they can't afford to buy nowadays. No one can afford to live as a family and save up a deposit. You've also got your young couples that are moving in together, there's a lot of them about. But then you've got the other end of the spectrum where you've got your older people, don't want the burden of being a property owner anymore. They want the ease of having a rental property, so they're selling up, giving their money to children and grandchildren to give them a start in life and renting bungalows. I mean, Chorley as a whole, the whole of Chorley is pretty popular, to be honest. It tends to circulate around proximity to the motorway. So you've got your outlying villages like your Brindles and your Wheeltons. They're always really popular because they're so close to motorway links and amenities, but yet they still have that rural feel to them. But yet you've got your Buckshire Village, which is where all the young families want to be, all the young professionals want to be, again because of you've got all the amenities on there. You've got Waitrose, you've got Starbucks, but then you've got the train station where you can get to Media City. So you've got all your people that work in Manchester that live on Buckshire Village as well. And then you've got your more traditional properties around your Carrington Road area, where you've got your Victorian terraces and your bungalows, which are the more family residential side of things, within walking distance to the market town. It's definitely grown. There's a lot of demand, not so much supply. Tenants are staying on a lot longer. There's a lot more properties coming onto the market, but they are more accidental landlords. So properties aren't selling quite as much, so they're then having to go down the rental route to get that income in because they don't want to miss out on their dream property moving onwards. So there are a lot of properties out there that are on the rental market for perhaps the wrong reason. But there's a lot of tenants out there that are looking, and I think going forward it's just going to get bigger and bigger. Again, it's supply and demand. There's a lot of demand out there. There's a lot of tenants looking for one particular type of property. I think if more of the traditional properties come back to the market, then it will grow. There's obviously the tenant fee ban which is coming into play, which is probably going to affect things quite a little bit. But again, more people can't afford to rent, they can't afford to buy nowadays. So they're having to rent, and there's not that much of a stigma about it. People are quite happy to say I rent a house and this is my home, and they treat it like a home rather than as a rental property nowadays.
Excellent, thank you very much.